Hey friends, I'm Frinny, aka Frin the Human,
And I'm Slappa.
and this is Vibes and Delights, y'all. What a special occasion! It's actually Wednesday, and this is kind of early for us, but I took off today because yesterday I got a promotion, and I've been kind of talking like that since then. I'm just so excited for myself just because I worked really hard. Like my manager voluntold me to be in my position that I'm in right now where I'm basically just helping the trainees and I'm like supporting the trainers, but like now I'm getting paid to do this and it's like super exciting and I'm just really proud of myself. And I just posted on TikTok and I mentioned briefly that I told my mom and my mom was like teasing me because I was yelling. Well, I had told her that I was like excited and like I'm the youngest. I'm 34 years old. My sister's 40 something. My brother's about to be 40 and I'm just like so itty bitty compared to them, like they have their own houses, they're older, you know what I always just feel like a little kid, like you know what I'm saying. Whenever I'm in the presence of my sister and brother, and Slap was looking at me crazy, but I feel like a little baby when I'm around them, and just knowing that I have like a real career, and like I just feel like a real adult, and I'm just really proud, and I like had him. I'm still having a moment where I wish I could tell my dad because I know he would be so proud of me, because I carved this community like us here right now. You know what I'm saying? I worked really hard to do good at my job. I did it and it's actually paying off. I found a company that like seems to be treating me well right now in my successes, but like I can't even tell you guys like how excited I am. And like hopefully this small bump will help us get out of this neighborhood. Like this neighborhood isn't bad, but it could be better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe I won't have neighbors who do like drug deals all the time. Like maybe I won't hear shots every Saturday morning at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Friday to Saturday. So I said it Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see the aliens in Animal Crossing, like at 2 in the morning on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just really proud of myself. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. What about you, baby? Anything big that happened?
I'm playing around editing my own videos right now. TikTok gave me 60-minute videos, so I'm trying to decide how to be a menace with that. And I think the best thing to do is to take 2 hour plus movies and abridge them to 60 minutes and see if TikTok will let me just post full movies for TikTok.
I think he's immediately gonna get flagged.
It's highly edited. It's free use, right? I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
I'm stuck on the captions right now. It's taking forever to go through because I know if I use the TikTok auto caption, it's gonna crash the fucking app. I'm sure.
You can't even do it on there. It has to come already done. Yeah.
So I'm going through and putting my own captions over every single thing. I'm doing Interstellar right now, and there is a lot of screaming through radios, so it's kind of hard to understand. So I have to like cross reference the whole movie script with what's happening and find where I cut and where it's a lot of jumping around.
Yeah.
Just, I'm like halfway through. I'll get there.
Oh, living on a pear. I mean, whatever. I said what I said. I didn't even say living on a prayer.
No, that was a vibe.
I know.
And I'm also trying to make little guide videos for the private WoW server I'm on because no one actually makes guides. They're like, I made a cool thing. Look at it. And then everyone's like, how do I make that thing? And they're like, figure it out.
Oh, boo.
So I'm trying to help out.
Man, wouldn't that be so cool? Oh, that'd be so cool. There's so much drama on that server, though. Slappa's always telling me about some fuck shit that's happening. Tell him about the guy that quit and came back.
Oh, we had this guy in our guild who was very connected and was in a lot of other discords because he wanted to know everything. Because, like I said, people don't make guides on this stuff. So he's a guy who was just going around trying to figure out how are y'all doing all this cool stuff. But he also was very connected with the private server developers. And it seemed like every time someone would tell him a little trick how they're doing something, it would get nerfed instantly, like within a week. And so people were starting to catch
Oh.
on and they stopped telling him stuff and their stuff started getting nerfed. And someone called him out
Oh.
on it and he got mad and he left and then like came back and now they changed his name to Fed and they're like, oh, Fed's here. Everyone stop talking.
Dang, that's a hostile work environment. But no, seriously, dang, that's crazy. So he was just in all these servers and he was asking how things done and then he would like piece things together and then post them.
He wouldn't post them. He would just talk to the developers and be like, this is why this person is doing so good with this ability.
Oh, so he was piecing it together and then going straight to the developers and then the developers would update the game to make the shit not work no more. Oh my gosh, that's even worse than I thought.
Why do you think people were so mad?
Oh man, so he was snitching. I thought he was like telling, I don't know. I thought he was like posting it on the internet or something. Because my next question was going to be like, so are you doing the same thing? But y'all are doing it together as a community. And he's like, oh, dang.
Yeah, he's like a guy. Remember Ben? He's like Ben.
Oh,
like
dang.
he always like has to know the best way to do something.
That's
and
not
if
what's
you,
meta.
right.
Right.
But then he's also going to the developers and like nerfing the meta.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Some news about the family we were raising money for over in Gaza. So I stopped posting about Haya and the family briefly because there was some stuff that was going on. After speaking with October for a short while, who is the one who's in direct contact with them, and I'm helping promote their family, right? But after talking to October, we came to the conclusion, like, let's just be real fucking careful and make sure we get all the facts before we start promoting anybody else's GoFundMe. And we were able to find out a lot of messed up information about the person who was handling it for the family in Gaza, Haya's family over in Gaza. They were starting to ask for percentages and like all this other shit, and it was really fucked up. But then we finally got everything cleared out, and it turns out that Haya was unable to access the funds in the first place. So she made a new one for herself and her baby to get out, and made a goal of $10,000 instead of, I think it was pounds. And so while we were literally talking about this, October sent me a couple messages about the family. They just told me right now, as we were recording, Haya, who's in Gaza right now, was like, GoFundMe just reached back out to me with an update about why I can't access the funds. And they said she can have her money. And then it says that she and her baby are now going to be able to escape. Her family, so she says, yes, my baby and I can evacuate. Now my family remains my mother, father, brother, Muhammad, and his wife, Gadir, and I'm very happy. Regardless of all the shit that happened before where we were uncertain about what was actually happening, I'm glad that she's able to escape with her baby, but the rest of her family has now made their own GoFundMes, which we will now start posting. So I've got her brother's GoFundMe, him and his family, and we're going to post that in our YouTube and on our videos going forward. That's really exciting, though, that we were able to help, even as minuscule as we did, even though there was a lot of turmoil and fear. I'm very excited to hear that she's going to get out with her little baby for a chance. Because
it's a great end to that chaos.
Hell yeah, because it was chaotic as fuck. But I am so glad that at least 2 people got out. But anyway, so what a happy ending. That was like the most twisting and turning and shit, man. But all right, good job. I'm so excited. Yay. That's a win. I'm gonna take that one for what it is.
That's a W.
That's a dub, bruh. Now, this week, I was gonna focus more on like mental health, but it seems like a few of the stories that I picked are now deleted. Have you ever heard that trope where a man, like a wife gets sick and a man like leaves his wife in the
No,
hospital?
never.
Right.
That happened?
Right. It's such a stereotype, right? Like you think, like you hear so many stories about it. I don't think it's a stereotype anymore. I'm pretty sure that's a statistic at this point,
Yeah,
right?
they literally have policies to warn women.
Damn, that is so crazy. And I found multiple stories like that. Um, but both of those stories, I can't find them anymore. I think they were both deleted. I told one. I thankfully found one, and I knew I should have told the other one right away. But let's go in a different direction. Let's talk about men gaslighting people.
Let's
And
talk about men's mental health.
yeah,
It is
it is
Awareness Month.
yeah, that's why I wanted to read it. Is like those men in those stories that are now really hard to find, right? They were so open about how they disrespected their partners. Like one of the titles, like the one that I actually recorded, was "My girlfriend won't shut up about maggots in her food. She was suffering from schizophrenia." Like there was another one, and I think I can still find that one, but there was like another one where a daughter and a dad were both noticing the mom doing really obviously
I saw that one.
uncharacteristic shit. Like she was like spitting out food like, "Bleh, that's nasty." But she was like 40. Or she was going like like, wiping her nose. Like I know I use my I use my sleeve more than the average bear, you know what I'm saying? But in public spaces, like I'm very politely dabbing at my face with a napkin, but she was full on being a child. They say that she spent like a few $100s on a dress because it felt soft. And she's never done something like that before. And then it turned out that she had a fucking tumor. And then the daughter comes out and said that she hit her mom.
What?
Yes, like it was crazy how these people just
Maybe I
completely
didn't see that
negated
one.
completely negated the mother. Those are the kind of stories that I found that I was hoping to read, but I was exhausted, and then it turned out the Red Wars happened, and that's why I was so exhausted. Instead of doing those mental health topics, let's instead talk about the mind games, the gaslighting. So I found a few stories this week, and they all kind of have the same theme of their partners and husbands just doing things and then pretending like they're not, or that it's not a problem. And that's shocking that I was able to find that many stories just on a whim. Oh,
Recent ones too.
right, because like we meant to record last week, but we didn't because I was tired. So I was gathering these stories for the last 2 weeks, and I found multiple. Right.
We had to pick through them to
Yes.
get down.
Yes, I had like 10 up. It was crazy. But let's jump into the first story called "Am I the Asshole for Filing for Divorce Because My Husband Over Tightens All the Jar Lids?"
My dad used to do that.
What do you mean?
Like,
Oh, like I wasn't expecting that at all.
so my dad always bought like pickles and pickled okra. Do you remember that good pickled okra?
I do.
Um,
Was it in like a tan? Yeah.
and my sister was really into pickles, and she would clear him out. So he started just like hella tightening all the pickle jars so she couldn't get any without him giving them.
But I'm just saying, like, he didn't tell her how important it was to him. Like, I'm saying, like, I'm not saying that I would threaten
Maybe
my
this is
children.
why my sister is so strong, because she had to
Oh my
open those
gosh.
jars.
Your sister does have,
He
like,
trained
weird
her.
strength. Oh,
Man.
your Slappa's sister does have, like, she's really strong. She's freakishly strong. That is creepy. That is weird to think about. But also, did your dad communicate though? I know your dad. Like, maybe I don't know him as well as you, right? But you and him, y'all talk the same. Y'all are men of little words. Okay, so that's what I'm saying is like I would tell our children like I really really like these. I would really really enjoy it if you didn't eat these, and I will share them with you if I want to. You know what I'm saying? But like I would do that for our kids. I would tell them how much it meant to me. But it doesn't sound like your dad ever did that.
You're probably right.
But also your sister's a fucking huge bitch. So like I also understand that too. But anyway, so his over tightening jar lids has been an issue since he was just visiting at my house when we were dating. First, it started with just things he used, and then over time, it became every damn glass lid jar. He tightened them so much that I couldn't open them without assistance. It wasn't a huge deal if he was there, but if I was alone, it was so annoying. More times than I can count, I've opened a new jar of something because I couldn't get the jar open.
Why you got 7 mayonnaise? Because I have to keep opening a new one.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's why he's doing it. So that she needs him. He wants to feel wanted, so he's creating a problem he can solve.
Good catch. Good catch. It's been a recurring cycle over the past 5 years. It's just
5 years
right.
of this?
I was just like, nah. It's been a recurring cycle over the past 5 years. It's just a thing that would escalate until I had a major meltdown and freaked out, screaming, frustrated, and seemingly crazy because it's just a lid. Obviously, it's not, though.
You know what she should have done?
What?
She should have just gotten, like, I don't know if you remember, like, as seen on TV products, like infomercials. There was specifically a wrench thing made for opening jars.
Yeah.
Because I'm betting this is because my dad did this, but in like a selfish way, not a like malicious, I'm gonna tighten everything kind of way. But if this guy did it and my dad did it, I'm sure there's a big spectrum of dudes who just over tighten everything. And that's why there was even a whole tool so women could just open these tight ass jars without needing a man. She should have got one of them and just been like, I could open everything. Fuck you.
I didn't even think about that. Like, that's even a bigger scale than I ever even imagined. Because see a need, fill a need, right? From robots. Like, so someone saw a need enough that they made the product and it got fucking popular enough that they made a commercial. It got into the as seen on TV show, like stores, because they have storefronts.
They had. I don't know
They
if they
had
still
them.
do.
They might. They might. Where, if I can remember where the
Who
one in
even watches TV?
right. I know where there's one in Frisco. I know the Frisco Mall has one. So next time we're in that area, why not like let's just run over there?
Go in the mall?
It's next to Macy's. I know exactly where it is.
Macy's?
I know exactly where it is.
Brother,
it's like on the second. It's on the second floor next to Macy's.
You
Or
gotta
it's
give
where
me
it
a
used
pretzel?
to. Do you want a pretzel?
I mean, if we're going to the mall.
I'll buy you a pretzel today. Do you want to get a
No, I
pretzel?
don't want to.
today?
I said if we're gonna walk through a mall, I better get a little treat.
Well, okay. No, that sounds good actually. That sounds really nice. But anyway, but damn, that's really crazy though that you said that cuz like I didn't even think about that scale of how many people are doing this, that there was a need of a whole product, right? Damn, that's insane. So she would have a breakdown and she would freak out, frustrated and seemingly crazy because it's just a lid. Then it would get better for a while. Then it would slowly become an issue again, just getting worse and worse until I reach a breaking point again. For 5 years? Sometimes I literally feel insane for being so upset over jar lids, and I think that's his point. That's what he wants you to feel like. And then he initially claimed that he did it to keep food fresh. I like how we both after many arguments about it and my insistence that I don't believe it keeps anything fresh, and even if it does make things last longer, I don't care if it means I can't eat my fucking food when I want. She said freaking. I said fucking, okay? I'll just replace things that go bad because they are enclosed normally. Then the excuse was that it's a habit.
So why didn't you just start with that?
Because it's just an excuse.
Right.
Like, Mm-mm. So about a month ago, my husband had a family emergency and he had to travel out of state for 10 days. First day he's gone, I discover a jar I can't open. I mean, I wonder, okay, so this obviously the situation would be avoided if you didn't fucking do this in the first place. But I don't know, like would you make a note to like make sure you do this before you fucking leave, okay? Or like watch him do it. But then again, that's like fucked up for you that you have to even
You have
remember
to
to do that.
micromanage.
Yeah. And then on top of that, what like what if he just instead starts sneaking off so you don't get the chance to make him loosen them?
Why do you even have to make him loosen them?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I know this whole situation would be avoided, but I'm trying to think of like
Stop.
ways,
If
but
you're trying to think of ways to like deal with something like this,
like I'm just saying she said she dealt with this for 5 years.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're
What was she
having
doing? Was
to
she
go through these
asking?
steps
Like,
for like basic shit,
yeah,
just leave. Like,
yeah.
you should not have to do that ever.
I'm just trying to figure out what's.
I'm not trying to give her a solution to how to loosen jars.
Jesus.
I'd like to tell her to leave. That's the solution to your tighten jars.
Truth. Okay, so she discovers a jar she can't open. I was annoyed and was going to the store to buy new pickles when the neighbor said hi and to let him know if I needed anything while my soon to be ex is out of town. I said, wait here, and got the jar when he opened it. The next day, I saw him outside and asked him to open another jar. And so he offered to come open all the jars. I agreed. He came in, he went to the fridge, opened all the jars except for two, which he could not get open.
Damn.
I thanked him profusely and told him I baked some of his favorite cookies later in the week. He laughed and said it was no big deal, and after confirming that I wouldn't be upset if the remaining two jars were destroyed in his attempt to open them, he took them home to his garage to open them one way or another. So he said that he heard me screaming about it.
So she's just screaming alone in the house about these fucking jars.
And your
the
neighbor
heard it.
Jeez. He said that he's heard me screaming over Titan jar lids a few times over the years, and he's really pondered if I was just crazy or if my husband really was just over tightening the jars. He said, you know that this was intentional. It was every jar. And I'm sure he doesn't regularly use hot pepper paste or mango puree or any of your fancy cooking stuff. Then he held up the two jars he couldn't get open and said, I don't know why he's doing it, but it's not an accident. After he left, I locked the door and sat on my kitchen floor and I cried. Then I felt hot and lightheaded. I vomited in the trash can. She had a real panic attack.
She was like letting the realization in after 5 years of trying to just move past it.
Yeah. Remember what you were telling me yesterday? Like, I was cramping really hard and like I started free bleeding. Just like it was coming, and you were like, probably because you've been really stressed out, and now
yeah, because that was right after you heard you got the promotion.
Yeah, and then I started like all of the stress started melting away, and then my period came in like full force, and it was honestly really bad. Actually, I had to sit on the toilet for a while, but like that's so crazy. Like anyway, so it crossed my mind that I might be having a heart attack, definitely having a panic attack. And you know what's worse? What if this is the first panic attack she's ever had? Because why else would she think it was a heart attack? I thought about calling an ambulance, but sat back down on my kitchen floor instead, okay with just passing away if it was indeed a heart attack. Dang, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I bet the validation alone would be staggering, but like, I feel so bad for her. Later, the neighbor came back with the open jar of hot fudge and apologized that he couldn't save the figs. How are figs? What are figs?
Like fig Newtons?
Yeah, I know what
The
fig
fruit.
Newtons are, but like,
It's a fruit.
is it like grapes?
It's like prunes.
Prunes. Okay.
But like prunes are dried plums, but like they're like kind of like prunes, but that's just how they are.
That's weird.
They have wasp in them.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm afraid of fig Newtons now.
I saw a thing about the fig wasp, and it's actually like insane that it even exists. Like the only place it can like survive off of is a fig, but like how did this even start happening in the first place?
Right.
And they only live for like 3 days.
Right.
How the fuck did this even become a thing, and how is this wasp still around? I don't know. It was really crazy. Should
Wow.
look into it if you like bugs, I guess.
Yeah. Don't put it in the Discord channel for once. Join the Discord, but be really careful about what you're posting about the wasps because I am terrified of all of that stuff. But yeah, it is a weird history about how the fig is a thing. Anyway, but even still, but I took a pause there for a second on hot fudge. Um, because I was thinking at first like why would you over tighten the hot fudge like that? But I bet you what it really was is that he over tightened it, but it's fudge, so it gets cold and it kind of becomes like adhesive. So it probably just really just froze in place or was too cold to like start moving. You know what I mean? Even still, for it to have even gotten there in the first place, it's just a dick move. You know what I mean? But that's what I was thinking about the hot fudge. But also, it's hot fudge. You don't like hot fudge on your Sundays? I mean, I don't really either, but I'm just saying. Anyway, he broke the jar trying to get it open, the figs, and he also apologized for what he said about my husband doing it on purpose. I assured him that it was okay. I couldn't sleep that night, tossed and turned all night. I called out of work. By 10 a.m., I realized that I couldn't stay married anymore, and I made an appointment with a lawyer for the next day.
All right.
There are literally no issues, no cheating, no abuse. What is this? What is this, ma'am? We had a good relationship life, both have good jobs, nice house, no financial problems. He was absolutely blindsided when he came home and I told him I wanted a divorce. He still won't admit that he tightened the lids on purpose. He suggested that we go to marriage counseling. It's you. You're the one doing it. Why we gotta go to marriage counseling when you are the one tightening the jars? Why are you doing that? Go to therapy by yourself. Anyway, but I refused because there is no point. I just literally can't get past the goddamn jar lids. I still feel a little bit crazy about that because he wants you to feel crazy about it. I have no idea why he would tighten every jar so tightly so I couldn't open it. He has given me no reason. He still won't even admit that he did it on purpose. But the hot pepper paste is in the back of the fridge. I only use it when I make Indian food. It's behind other things. He's never used it. It's nothing you could put in food without cooking it. I'm not sure I understand that.
Like maybe he like I don't know. The subtext is she's saying he just doesn't cook.
Oh.
So why would he use something that's only when you're cooking Indian food if he never even cooks?
Mm.
It's nothing you could put in food without cooking it. Like you can't use this without cooking it. Like it's an ingredient. It's not a spread or
Oh.
like a dip.
Mm. Okay. Interesting.
It's like the minced garlic in the fridge. Like
Oh, okay.
you're not just gonna whip that out and put it on a sandwich, you know.
Oh no, maybe. It smells
No.
so good.
Mm-mm.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It just smells really good.
It smells good. It's gonna be weird.
All right. But so it's in the back of the fridge. I only use it when I'm making Indian food, so he's never used it. The pepper paste could not have been an accident. It couldn't. Maybe he put mango puree on his toast or in his oatmeal, but pepper paste couldn't have been an accident. That's what my life comes down to. I'm getting a divorce because the lid to my hot pepper paste was over tightened. If it had been every jar except that one, I could try. I I could have a sliver of doubt. I could do something else, but I just can't get past the hot pepper paste. Most of our friends and family either think I'm crazy or an asshole. What do you think? I don't think you're crazy or an asshole.
I think you put up with it way too long.
Boop. That
Wait. Go to that comment. Is that the original? Okay.
yeah, it's yeah, they said just in case it gets deleted. So this person says, this reminds me of the dude who was poisoning his wife's plants. She couldn't figure out why they were dying. It was just making her nuts. And when she caught him, he didn't really have a good answer for why he did it. It's petty cruelty that generally means all the love and caring, and the other shit is just a veneer. The jars, the plants, that's what happens when the mask slips a little and the sociopathy comes out. You remember there was that guy who like opened his wife's terrarium on TikTok?
No.
There was a dude who opened his wife's terrarium on TikTok. Like she was going on vacation or some trip, something family related, but she was just like she watered or she spritzed the terrarium, and then when she came home it was completely dead and like flooded. And then she said and then something happened, and then another one came up the same way.
Like she went somewhere else and then came back to it being fucked up.
Yeah. And then so I think she like got a nanny cam or something, or she like straight up caught him, just like this person said. And he was just like, I this guy says, like, this commenter says that he didn't have a reason. The dude on TikTok though, he was like, I thought I was doing a good job taking care of it for you.
When it died twice?
Yeah, he was like, I was just doing what you showed me. He was like trying to say that he was trying to follow her care directions, but the care directions are literally to leave it closed because it's a self-sustaining environment. Like,
is that weaponized incompetence?
I think that is. There was also a dude on TikTok who threw his wife's like dried plants. Have you ever heard of people drying plants, you know?
Like flowers?
Yeah, like flowers. And he knew that some of them were important to her because she did it with her grandma. And so she continued the tradition, and he threw them all away. Almost all of them. Almost. He didn't throw away the ones that still looked nice. Like they still looked alive, even though they were clearly dead. You know what I'm saying? He threw away the ones that looked super dead. But that's what happens to them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they look like.
They're literally dead flowers.
They're dead flowers that you pressed to keep memories.
Right.
And like, so he knew. And she posted like the most crying ass video. That poor girl, I could feel her pain.
There's too many. You can.
She stayed. And then she got mad at the internet for talking shit. Go ahead.
There's too many of these fucking stories. Like I thought of like 3 different ones where a dude has just like thrown away all their partner's stuff just cuz like they knew they loved it, so they threw it away. Like you remember there was like some lady who had like years and years of Christmas decorations, and him and his friend threw them all away cuz he was tired of her every Christmas going crazy with all these
I don't remember that one. Because, you know, in my family, like, I may not care about Christmas, but the putting of the tree is, like, a big thing. And I've been very absent these last 12 years. You know what I'm saying? But, like, the way my face was like, what? Or, oh my, it doesn't matter.
There's too many.
There's too many. There's too many. It's just horrifying. But even, I remember what I was going to say. It's even scarier when they do know. Because I saw one where, like, it was her daughter's teddy bear who died from, like, a disease when she was, like, 3 or something like that. And this teddy bear was one of the last things that the OP bought for her. But that girl cuddled that bear until she died with it. And that man threw that teddy bear away because he was like, you need to focus on us now. Yeah. I wanted to read one more comment because you mentioned something earlier about him needing her. Or her needing him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you knew what I mean. You knew what the fuck I meant. And also, I'm having a really hard time articulating. I'm just like really excited and all weird. Anyway, but it says, I suspect the husband really wanted the wife to need him, much like what you said. I don't know if it made him feel like a big, strong man or what, but doing that and going out of his way to ensure that she'd be forced to ask him for help for this, he must have really needed that validation. Either way, he overplayed his hand, and she can't trust him again. It's time to move on, and good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her. And that's the last one I wanted to read because... And that's the last one I wanted to read because you caught it immediately, and I didn't even think about that until I saw that comment.
We got another story coming up, but join the Discord
Join the Discord.
and tell us if someone's ever tightened all your jar lids. Is this more common than we think?
Or I want to know, has anybody done anything like that to you? Like,
Like vindictive, or like, what is
con-
that? Is that controlling? Because he wants to be the one to open all the jar lids? Or she can't use a jar without him opening it? Like, that's kind of controlling, right?
it's a dependency issue. She needs him. He needs her to like feel good.
Yeah.
He needs her to feel validated. It's a validation issue.
That's what Cake's issue is.
I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts in the Discord. I just want to know, has anybody ever done something like so minuscule that you thought you were like losing it? I would like to know if you were one of those people whose boyfriends like purposefully killed a plant. You know what I'm saying? And then let me go find that story. I'm gonna read it later on the on my live. All right, so next we've got Slapper's Choice. And it's like the same theme.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend to stop putting my things in his son's room?
His son's room.
I don't. Let's see how you could even be an asshole for that. That's weird. Bye.
My first question was, I mean, how old is the kiddo? Is he putting your stuff in his own room?
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that
But
possibility.
let's find out.
My boyfriend, 30 male, and I, 25 female, have been together for 3+ years, living together for 2. He has a 13-year-old son, had him when he was very young. He's at our house Friday night to Monday morning. Since we moved in together, there's been an ongoing issue that my things end up in his son's room, especially if he's cleaning or moving stuff around. What things exactly?
So he's cleaning and things are going in his room? Your things are going in his room while he's cleaning? Weird.
Why is he cleaning your stuff?
Mm.
Last week, I came home from work and realized my PS5 was missing the HDMI cord. I guess it was in the son's room, disconnected and on the floor. Because son was using it earlier and just unplugged it instead of putting it back. Which he's 13 and in his own world. My boyfriend let him borrow it, so he should have put it back when son was done. Side note, I bought this son a couple of cords so my boyfriend would stop taking mine for him to use. No idea what happened to them. What is happening here?
Right, because I sure was about to ask, like, why don't y'all just have one in his room? I mean, but they're missing.
Where do they keep going? Why are you taking them out of the PlayStation?
There's a black hole in your house.
I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what to say or how to even imagine that happened.
Right.
The other day, I was looking for my dog's combing supplies. She has her own cabinet of dog stuff. They somehow ended up in his son's room. He said he was reorganizing the cabinet and took some things out, and he must have moved the comb in the process. Did he think that was for his son? The dog comb?
But if they're in their own cabinet, then why would he take them out anyway?
Why is he reorganizing? Right.
What is going on?
That seems
here?
organized if it has a cabinet.
There's something neurospicy happening here. Is he undiagnosed something?
Something, I'm sure.
I don't think it's autism.
It might just be an asshole.
ADHD.
Today, my boyfriend was taking a nap, and I was going to go to the gym. I could not find my headphones. They're usually in my gym bag, but I had taken them out to charge earlier today. I looked in his son's room, but did not see them, so I looked elsewhere, but could not find them. When my boyfriend woke up, I asked him where my headphones were. He went into his son's room and said he put them in his closet on accident while cleaning around the house. His headphones were also in the closet.
So he put both of y'all's headphones in his son's room.
You know that story where the mom was acting weird and had a tumor? Like, I'm feeling like they should get something checked out, because he put his own headphones in there too. Like, obviously, I'd feel like something was up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the dog stuff is the one that got me because I was like I don't understand like why is he doing that, but you're right, like just like those men didn't immediately like start questioning the behavior, like I would start questioning this behavior.
It's so, like,
It's
it's not
so
even.
weird.
But she says he's always done this.
Right, but has he just been
Yeah,
undiagnosed
has
the
it
whole
just
time?
always been
Or
something?
does he like they just moved in together, right? Hold on. Did they just
They've been
move in
living
together?
together for like 2 years, I thought.
So they've been living together for 2 years and he's been doing it the whole time. But he used to live on his own. He had a kid at 17. You know what I'm saying? He probably was doing weird shit just trying to get by as a new dad. You know what I'm saying? In his formative years, in his real developmental years. I bet you, I would not be surprised if maybe he's like, what if his house was set up in a strange way that made sense to him and no one else? Maybe he got used to putting a lot of things in his son's room because he had to be in his room all the time because he was raising his son,
At
and
his
maybe
parents' house or
at his
something.
parents' house or something. And so, or what if they shared a room even and he's just used to them sharing space together?
Okay, but what if the reason that last guy tightened all the jars so tight is because of something like this reason we're trying to give this guy? Does that make it okay?
But the tightening of the jars is something completely malicious.
Is it though? What
I
if
if
it's
I
what
can't
if this is
access
malicious?
food, she just don't know where stuff is.
I don't know.
But he's purposefully doing that one single
What
thing.
if she has to always ask him where the thing is so he gets to know where the thing is?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't,
Once again,
I'm kind
I
of questioning like
like
what even do I believe anymore, cuz I'm like sitting here, I could see maybe he does have a disorder that makes him do this, and I'm kind of giving him a break on it. But also, I wasn't thinking the same thing about the last guy.
But it was more acute
Yeah,
though
it's
as
much more
well.
focused on just like specifically one thing for him, but like it could be like that. I don't know. It'd be like that sometimes.
But if you knew that you were going out of town and you knew that your partner needed to open the jars, why would you leave them there? That
Well,
just seems
it
mean.
right. If he knew,
He's not being mean about it.
it's
He's
kind
just
of
like, you fuck, dude. That's twice though. I didn't even clock something, man. And you did. I didn't even think about it
well,
like
I didn't
that.
even think about the last. Like, I thought, like, okay, this is really weird behavior, but like the tightening jars isn't like really weird behavior because I've had a dad who tightened jars too much and I couldn't open it, so I had to ask him to open it.
And my mom threw a fit the few times that my dad did do
Right, like
that.
this is something that dudes will do, and it's like a known thing that men tighten jars too much, or they're the only ones who can open jars or whatever stereotype.
And we also had like it was like a floppy pad, like almost like a mouse pad looking
Yeah,
thing
the little gripper.
to grip it. Yeah. And it even had a logo from GTE on it. That's how old it was. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Like,
corporations just had logos on random shit.
right. That they gave their employees at
Right.
Christmas time. But like that is such a perspective because I'm so ready to believe there's something wrong with this man. But like, what if he is? Let's just give him.
Let's keep going.
Let's just keep going.
Let's keep going.
God damn. What a conundrum. I cannot wait to see what you guys say in live react, if I'm being so honest with you. I can't wait. And also, you can cut some of that out because I was trying to find where I was and I'm just stalling
I'm
for
gonna leave
time.
all of it. You got okay. Stop. I honestly lost it. I told him I'm so tired of having to question where my things are at. Just like she was so tired to have to ask him to open
Oh
jars.
my gosh.
Our house is not cluttered. It's hardly messy. There's no reason for my things not to be in our room.
Right.
There's
Oh.
no reason for my things to be in someone else's room. I told him that if I have something in one spot, he does not need to move it. My headphones being on the charger is not inconveniencing anyone.
It's on a charger. I mean, that's where it's supposed to go. Like,
Right. He said I'm overreacting and it's harmless to just go into his son's room and look for something if I need it too. He said that he accidentally slash subconsciously moves things and he doesn't realize they're mine. So
Yeah, never mind. I'm just.
I mean, that's what we were thinking. Like, it's some kind of weird thing he's got going on. But if he knows he does it, like, he's aware, why wasn't he, like, preventing himself from doing this in any way? Like, if the guy knows he tightens jars tight, why wasn't he, like, purposefully being like, okay, that's tight enough. Like,
Well,
control
she
yourself.
said that
Think
it would
about
get
it.
better,
Be
and
conscious
then
about it.
but in that last story, things would get better, and then they would get worse, and they would get worse until she had a mental breakdown. She's talking to him each time, and is like, "Why do you keep fucking doing this shit?" You know what I mean? So she's not having mental breakdowns like the other lady was because she was holding it in.
But if it's actually like an accidental subconscious, I mean, if it actually is, then it actually is. But if you
But
know...
my thing is like, I was working really hard. Like, even you right now, we're trying to understand why he's doing this. Like, what mental illness could he possibly have to do this? When the truth of the matter is, he's a fucking human. And he's a man at that. And we had this whole man versus bear debate, and people were just refusing to understand why men are so scary because they consciously do shit like this just to inflict pain without any rhyme or reason.
So we're sitting here. Well, we shouldn't even have to debate that if this is a disorder kind of thing or him purposely doing it.
Because
like, it should be like, no, like no one does this shit on purpose.
But because they do.
They do though. So.
So I fell into that right there. Like, I was trying to like humanize a fucking animal. And like, I don't even want to call him an animal like that, but I mean, like, I was trying to humanize something that's inhumane. And I guess that's really what it is.
I called bullshit because this has been an issue for 2 years. I told him I'm just not going to leave anything that's mine around the house anymore. Not even a pair of shoes at the front door. I also do not like having to look in other people's rooms or playing hide and seek with my things.
Yeah.
I would hate for someone to look through my things / room.
Right. Ooh.
And like, is the son like, why do you keep putting stuff in my room, Dad?
Right.
Like, I'd be mad if my dad was doing that.
Or what if he was doing it the whole time and he just is used to that behavior?
That sucks.
Right.
If he wants to put his stuff in his son's room, by all means do it. Which he does sometimes, but I told him to stop putting my stuff in there.
Right.
I feel like an asshole just typing this. We have a great relationship and hardly argue. However, I have asked him in the past to please not do this, and he isn't getting it.
Oh, man.
Am I overreacting? Am I the asshole for not wanting my stuff in his son's room? Edit, I appreciate everyone's advice, suggestions, support, and input. I did not expect this post to blow up, and I am thankful for everyone who commented. I'm going to implement a few things that many suggested. I did not realize that this may be a bigger issue than simple inconveniences to my life. I will likely stop commenting. If I have an update in the future, I will try to make another post.
Well, I wonder I can't wait to see what people are saying in here.
Just to clarify, are you sure your boyfriend is actually doing this and it's not his son taking all your stuff and hiding it? No, because she's asking him and he's like, oh yeah, I put that there. I do it accidentally. Yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Like, he's admitting it's
But at least, see, like, we tried to rationalize it. Like, why do you think it's your boyfriend? Like, I'm so mad at myself.
Right. Even people in the comments are like, are you sure it's him? Even though he said it was him. Why would he do it? You know, if it is your boyfriend doing it, super creepy. Why is he only moving your stuff? He's not. Did people even read? He's moving his stuff too. That's why it's extra weird. Like, why are you doing any of this? Start moving his stuff into other rooms and don't tell him where to find it. Make him look for it so he can see how annoying and frustrating it is. He needs to stop touching your stuff, period. No. Listen. Anytime you have to do what someone is doing to you to make them understand it's shitty, you're... Dang, Cake.
Dang, Cake is going crazy.
We're trying to record, Cake. We can't play right now. Oh, anytime you have to do some fucked up shit that someone did to you so you can try and teach them what it feels like to have the fucked up shit done to you, just don't. Like, you are becoming them. Why
That's the
why do you want to
facts.
be them to show them how shitty they are?
Right,
Just be like,
god
you're
damn.
shitty as fuck,
That's
and
like
leave.
literally stooping to someone's
Right.
level.
That's
Like,
literally just
you never want to do that. You never go ask them out. You never do it. No, but seriously, damn, you're really right about that.
now. Will I do that? Yes, but you should not.
Damn, baby. Oh man.
But also, I wouldn't move his stuff. I would just sell some of it, like the like.
Is there another one? Oh. So this commenter was like, "OP, I think you're in the beginning stage."
What was the post?
It was the one we just read.
Wow. Okay.
Like we okay guys, we read that story, but it was on Oh No Consequences. But I guess the OP also wrote it on Am I the Asshole? And I can't Jesus. That is some funny shit. That I connected those stories. And then somebody else in the comment section did too. That shit's crazy. Dang.
We on a good vibe today, I guess.
Dang, that's fucking crazy. I was like, damn, is there another one? Like, let's deviate the podcast, but Jesus.
So this
Wow.
next one, you think someone's gonna mention these stories?
No, they're in a totally different direction. But this one, it was just funny. To me, it's got a happy ending. And I wanted to end lightly because those two stories were just kind of like Team Bear. Like, it was kind of anyway, so this story is my wife is looking up divorce papers, and my first thought was they always think it's out of nowhere. I'm 30 male freaking out. I thought we had a happy marriage. We've been married for 6 years, dating for 10. Oh, I'm sorry. He calls it dating. That's cute. Because you don't ever stop dating your spouse. Anyway, and then we started dating when I was 20 and she was 23. My wife, 33 female, and I have always been very open with each other. We share passwords and have never hidden anything. When we have disagreements, we get through it together. We've never screamed or yelled at each other. We're in couples and individual therapy, not because of anything wrong with our relationship, just because we want to make sure that we're happy. My wife always says better prevention than cure. Hmm. I mean, I get it, but I wouldn't put us in therapy. I would just go to my own individual therapy.
If we had money like that, I wouldn't
You know what?
mind.
Yeah, that's
Like the
fair.
only reason I'm like therapy is because it costs money, and we don't have money for anything extra.
Hopefully, this year is the year. I just want to take care of you. It's your turn. It is your turn.
Never.
It's his turn. Yesterday, she left her laptop open and I saw she was looking up new. Yesterday, oh,
You are.
I'm pretty blazed.
Hey, hey. Join the Discord.
Yesterday, she left her laptop open and I saw she was looking up New York divorce papers and how to see if someone was cheating and some subreddits. There was 5 or 6 tabs open. I pretended I didn't see anything, but I went into the bathroom and threw up. I've been shaking in anxiety, and my wife has noticed I haven't left her side, and she's asked me if anything is wrong.
Oh.
Readers, I've never cheated on her and even thought of cheating. I don't even watch stuff. Oh, little baby. I don't even know how she could think I would betray her like this. Excuse the jingles. Keki's got her new toy that she wants us to play with. We've already taken like 2 breaks. She's just being
Cake, I
needy
am
right
not
now.
doing all that. I'm not. She wants me to swing it around the whole room. We're not going crazy right now. I was just gonna jiggle it around a little.
If it's the opposite and she's cheating, I don't even know how she would do it because even if she didn't love me, she doesn't even have the time. I checked her phone and computer and she doesn't have anything previously downloaded. There's nothing fishy and nothing suggesting even an emotional affair. She's been incredibly affectionate. She loves me and would never hurt me. So it's me she thinks.
Mm.
I have a part time bakery catering business I run from home, and she works from home for literally 70 to 80-hour
Oh
weeks.
my
Jesus,
god.
even at home,
That's like
that's a lot of
you're on the
time.
computer the whole time just working
Right. Like, Keiki gets upset whenever I have to work for my 8. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for 40 a week.
right,
Jesus.
right. Like, I was like thinking about each day, like, how long is
Like
she on the
are you
computer
are
each
you
day?
are you working from home in the oil field? What is this?
Right. Like, for real, it has to be some sort of IT job, I bet you. Like, some sort of tech job.
I have seen on TikTok there are couples accounts where like their whole thing is they're just like a work from home couple and they put in like fucking 80 to 90 hours on jobs that they both have like two or three work from home jobs and they're just working and grinding together. Like that's like their couple goal shit is like let's get on the grind and stack these papers.
I
Like I get
guess.
it.
But at what cost?
Your early 20s, they're all like young people with no kids, and I guess I mean good, they'll have a great time later, but right now,
Right. But, like, at the same time, it's like there's so much in your early 20s that you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much stuff are they missing out on? Like, I guess it's really all the same. Like, I had a late start myself, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I wasn't like I married my ex. I was out by 22, right? I met you and we started partying together and we learned a lot together. We went through a lot together, and I'm glad that we got it out of the way and we're kind of cruising in our 30s, and I hope to be even more chill in our 40s. I would hate to like grind through my 20s, struggle through my 30s, and then but I guess is that how our parents did it? No, I don't even know. I don't even know.
not
How
mine.
what an interesting
I guess my
thought.
mom did it like that, but
I was thinking like 40 was when I was a kid was when I thought I was supposed to have like a wife and kids and
well, don't we
a
both have
wife.
like old parents?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
And you know what else I just thought about is, oh my gosh. Slap and I were trying to buy a house, and I remember feeling overwhelmed because I felt like we were too young to take on this kind of responsibility. But then I explained to him like where I was coming from, and I like really like peeled back where these feelings were coming from, and it occurred to me that the reason why I think that we're so young, even though we're not, we're literally over age at this point, um, is because of my parents. What happened was my parents like grinded and grinded and grinded all through their 20s and 30s, but they also were black. So they like, I don't know, like had to overprove, have everything together, and it took them longer because of that. Like, my mom had the good credit score and my dad had the money, and that took time, right? And I think that's really what it was. So I saw my parents grinding and struggling all the time, right? And obviously it paid off. We got this beautiful house that they custom built, you know what I mean? And like, all is well. But then I was thinking, while I was telling Slappa this, that all our neighbors were young. They were young. They just graduated college. Like, I can't even tell you how many neighbors' houses that I went into where they would be like no older than my sister, like maybe 10 years older than me, and they have like degrees in their house, but they're my sister's age, and they're like in this big ass house that's bigger than ours. and our house was not small, And so, like, it occurred to me at that moment that we this is the time for people to start buying houses. My parents just had to struggle abnormally, and like, I don't know, it was just like weird to it was a weird realization. And that's what I'm like feeling right when you told me that story about the family that's like grinding it out. Like, I just can't even like imagine doing that because that's what my parents did,
Wow. And
you
like,
know?
I only remember like seeing three of these different people, but they were all minorities. So maybe that is what it is. Like, I didn't see any white couples doing this.
Wow. Let's get back to our story. I don't even have words. Like, so they were talking about she works 70 to 80-hour work weeks, and she's the breadwinner, and we haven't left each other's side, and I love it that way. COVID was actually good for us because we could spend so much time together. My wife is the love of my life. I'm in the process of being diagnosed and looking for symptoms online. Aw. I'm pretty sure she's my favorite person. It's unhealthy, but she's never complained about me being clingy or overbearing. I don't know why she would want a divorce. He seems so devoted to her. I'm afraid to talk to her about it because what if she starts thinking of divorcing me and realizes that she's so much better and deserves so much worse and just
You know
leave?
who? You know what's the
It's me.
no what's the couple in Has Been Hotel? I mean, Hell of a Boss.
Oh, Moxie and his girl, or Moxie and Millie.
Yeah.
He says, oh, I fucking can't stand that artist, that creator. We can get into that at another time, but yeah, absolutely, for sure. I know them characters though. I feel like somehow talking about the D word will manifest it and ruin all the happiness I have. I wished I never saw it. I wish I could pretend like it's not happening. Today she joked that we'd literally melt together because I haven't stopped holding her all morning. I'm afraid that I'll fall asleep and she'll disappear.
Oh.
Edit, I know I need to talk to my wife, this vent thread. And as someone who has anxiety, impossible BPD, I'm very grateful for the empathetic and actionable comments. My wife and I decided together, after she suggested it, to have me work part time. I run a catering business from home. I do all the housework. My wife works in a demanding field, and part of the reason for the long hours is all the pro bono work that she does. Oh, so she might be some sort of lawyer or something. I'm very proud of her, and though I wish she'd cut back on hours for her own health, I would never dream of asking her to quit a job that she loves and has a positive impact on. Edit, please stop spreading the lies for no reason. I've literally never yelled at my wife, much less yelled at her for not baking. What? My wife does not bake. she she does not lift a finger in our house.
Bro,
What is
what's happening in
happening?
these comments? What?
Thanks for all the support. Talking with her tonight, maybe tomorrow. My wife has a pretty big project at work she needs to finish, and there's no time for conversation. It's like Jake Morgendorfer and Helen Morgendorfer from Daria.
Oh, hey.
That's such an apt description of what we're looking at
It
right
really
now.
is.
Because he owns his own business, he's a consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's
And
hilarious.
she's always working.
Always. Oh my gosh, is this
This is a fake story.
this is a
just
fake story?
like a fanfic.
Right.
What would he do if he had read it?
Right. If Jake Morgendorfer had read it, this would be on it. This would be his whole thing. Everybody would be telling him to divorce Helen.
He'd be fighting them.
Oh my gosh. Logically, I know she might be researching for a friend of hers, but mentally and emotionally, my brain is screaming that she forgot to close the window, that she's leaving me, and I'll never be with the love of my life again. Right now, I'm leaving her to work and I'm just watching a random show. And the final update for this one post. I made an update post. You can see it on my profile. My wife was writing a short story after she got frustrated reading an unrealistic cozy mystery. Is your wife Superwoman? Like, a cause of the spiral was probably her insane parents who tried to hold her hostage for forced marriage, trying to contact us again.
Oh,
What?
get to this update.
Okay. I just want to say I'm very grateful for everyone's love and support. Shut up, motherfucker. Anyway, last night my wife asked me if something was wrong. She finally was done with work, so I asked her why she had full tabs full of divorce information if it wasn't for a family friend or anyone we knew. The divorce tabs was because she recently read a cozy mystery with a divorce turned murder, and she thought it was so bad and unrealistic that she could write one back. That's right, bitch.
Oh my
Sometimes,
god.
sometimes spite is an incredible motivator, and you find something you actually like doing.
That's why that lady wrote Twilight.
What?
Or that's why that lady wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
It's for real though.
You dead man.
Yes. because because like yes, that's what happened, but when you put it in that kind of light. Well, you know what's worse? It's not better. She
I
says
know.
"Holy crow" like 50 times in the first like 10
Like, where's the person who's gonna get so mad at how bad 50 Shades of Grey is that they write an actually good
Please.
book? Where's that person? Write
Any
a good book.
literally any other smut novel. Put your smut novel and put your smut novel recommendations in the library act on the Discord. Join the Discord. Anyway, Jesus. My wife is an avid reader. Me, not so much. And she likes to read mystery novels, though I secretly think it's because she can complain about them to me. Aw, I do that though. I'm just like, baby, let me tell you about this dumb shit.
Yeah, you read it, you tell me about it.
Yes,
I like that deal.
I love it. Um, I read some of it this morning, and my wife's short story is better than most movies, to be honest.
All right, bro.
I could see her becoming an author when we retire, but also, I mean, it's not unheard of for someone who's a lawyer, if they are a lawyer, to start writing after. Like, What's that story? It's like 15 minutes, I think, where or 12 minutes, where it's a a kid, like a school shooting happened, and then like the story is told during the trial and the unraveling, or what's that book? I'm My Sister's Keeper. That's written by somebody who was like a lawyer. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I'm
all
sure
those
a lot
books
of
are.
crime drama people
And this is
were.
a murder mystery.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey,
I read a few of those, and the main character is usually a lawyer.
yeah,
Yeah. Or a reporter, one or the other.
right. I struggle a private eye kind of situation.
Right.
I struggle with my mental health, and though my wife has been through trauma, she's a stronger person than me. Though I knew Though I knew logically that she was looking for some other reason than our relationship, mentally and emotionally, my brain was screaming at me that she was going to leave and I was going to lose the love of my life. I have suspected BPD, and my wife is my favorite person and my soulmate. I know some of my behavior is unhealthy, but it's an uphill struggle. It doesn't help that my wife is the most amazing, selfless, loving person I know. I was the product of a one night stand to two parents who didn't want me. Oh. Neither of them had steady jobs or relationships or really any desire to parent. If I was too much of a burden for my dad, he'd drop me off at my mom's, who wouldn't be home. I'd be locked outside of her apartment till she came home at 2 a.m. There'd be nothing in the fridge. School wasn't much better. I was the weird kid with long, greasy hair and 2 day old clothes, and I was relentlessly bullied. When I was 14, I was finally taken away by my maternal grandparents who didn't have a relationship with my mom, and though they loved me, they really couldn't take care of me because they were old. We lived in a tiny house full of useless things. When I was 19, my grandma passed away from lung cancer, and my grandpa passed then too. He stopped eating. They were so in love. I met my wife when my grandpa was dying of heart disease, and I was 20 and she was 23. She worked as a consultant and had been working. I'm sorry, that whole like Jake Morgendorfer consulting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was 20, she was 23, she was a consultant and been working 90 plus hours. We met a mutual friend for lunch and he introduced us. After lunch, we ended up spending the whole day and night together just talking, and it was amazing. I felt bad because her parents yelled at her for not calling them that night, and I asked her out the next day and she said yes. My grandpa passed away a month later, and she helped me with the funeral and even came over to clean the house without me even asking. You know, something I just thought about. So their relationship was born right out of a lot of grief, and when he felt probably like he was at his lowest point. That's how I met you.
What's that mean?
I I feel like this is a really good relationship. Like I feel like they're solid in a number of ways. Like like I met you, I had just left my horrible ex and my dad just died. And then like you and I had to overcome my traumas like that. You know, we built nothing. We built something out of nothing. And I feel like those trials and tribulations really helped define us as we are today. And we're still writing that. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't know. I just like sometimes the best relationships are just kind of born out of like trauma, but then on that same sword, so much pain can be wrought out of trauma because you make bad decisions because of grief. Isn't that weird to think about?
I just like you. I don't care what trauma you're going through. I'm just here for you.
What if that's how he feels about her?
I think that's how she feels about him. But he's like building
Am
all
I
this.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in this part of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's like, his like feelings when they got together were all of the things he was going through. But like for her, she was just working hard and liked hanging out with this guy.
How did you feel?
I was worried about you, but I love you.
What an interesting conversation to have later.
Oh, later.
The way that I love you, sir. The way that you will never escape, sir. I'm just. Anyway. All right, so she came over to help me clean without asking, and for the first time, I could actually see the walls of the house I lived in. My mom wanted the inheritance. My grandparents didn't leave any, just debt and a house my mom didn't want. She didn't even care about me. And also, she knew they ain't had nothing.
Right.
Like,
They're just hiding riches from you. Like,
right. That's the absolute worst in people comes out during funerals. That's anyway. My wife got me a lawyer friend to keep my mom away. My mom didn't even care once she found out that there was no money. My wife supported me through it all. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she was about to dip anyway and let you just handle whatever, the selling of the house and settling of the debt, you know what I mean? But also, this is the second time now they said that they would like to be preventative. They went ahead and did it just in case. These are like some real thinking ahead ass people, yo. I feel a few months later, my wife said she was going home to her country for a visit. Her grandma was sick. The first day she called, and then for a month there was radio silence, and I thought she got tired of me and I hated myself. It was a bad spiral. Finally, there was a call, and she asked me if I could help her find out where she was and how to get to the nearest airport. Her parents had hidden her away and her passport. Wait, her parents had hidden away her passport, and she was sure she was about to be married off. She stole back her U.S. passport. Her job paid for her flight, even though they had previously fired her for not checking in for 2 weeks. There's always exceptions when there's extremes, okay? I met her at the airport and she looked so tired. Our next date night, she looked better, but I had a feeling that something was wrong. I followed her and she was going to a women's shelter. Her parents cleared out her bank account and she didn't have a place to stay. I told my wife that she could live with me at my grandparents' house and she wasn't a burden. And she tried to do all the chores and pay the rent at the same time, but I was just happy that she was with me. Though it's twisted, I was secretly kind of thrilled that she ran away from the marriage. To me, it felt like she chose me over her parents. He feels needed. It is the same.
I don't. He's not causing the reason for the
Truth,
need.
true, truth. But nah, damn, that's pretty crazy though. Like, ooh, ain't her Frinny be thinking things. Anyway. Because I'd be reading these at like 3 in the morning. But anyway, so to me, it felt like she chose me over her parents. Her parents tried to track her down. We got married and then they cut her off for good. Good. Like me, she didn't get much physical affection growing up either. She was expected to get good grades and clean up after everyone because she was a girl. There was physical abuse. Education was a way for her to be more marriageable. That's why they agreed to let her get a job while going to grad school. Once she finished, she would be married off to an older man to be a housewife. She didn't want that. Also, we just watched Bridgerton, and I was just thinking, why would she need to be educated? And then I just realized that, remember that one dude he had a whole checklist of shit he wanted women to be. They wanted educated, smart, funny, and like, but they're just gonna sit there and be babies, and you're not gonna actually talk to her like a person.
Right? It's so weird. Like, how do you want a young wife to just have your kids, but you don't have anything to do with? Why do you care if she's educated and stuff?
Right. Mm. Weird. Weird. Anyway, I was gonna say to teach them, but they have governesses or govern. You know what I'm saying? Like they have teachers, like they're nannies, they're governesses. We had to build our finances from the ground up. My wife likes experts who tell us what to do with our money, our relationship, our house remodeling, because she wants us to be happy. I'm terrified of losing her. That someday she'll realize that she could have something better because I need her so much. People on the thread have told me I'm too clingy, that my wife secretly hates that. Now, when I hold on to my wife or rest my head on her chest or lap, I wonder if she's lying that she loves that she's just tolerating me. I talked with my therapist and he told me some techniques to get my anxiety under control and some techniques for BPD, as he is a CBT therapist. I still have my diagnosis coming up in 5 months. My wife still loves me and she's not leaving me. I'm a little concerned though,
Where was the
like
good ending?
that the good ending was that they found each other and they fell in love and it was just her trying to write a book and it was cute.
Okay, but that was not a happy ending.
But it was a happy
That
ending.
part was. That wasn't the ending though.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying like
Now he's like worried that she actually hates him.
yeah, I know. That's what I was like. It's a happy ending overall, but like it's kind of messed up that these commenters bullied him like this, and then it made him spiral in a completely different way. And also, what is CBT?
Cock and ball torture.
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Different kind of therapy.
You're a filthy animal. But well, I thought it was a happy ending, but now you're making me question myself.
People are being mean in the comments.
Yes, damn. Dang, are they just being mean in here? Dang, they are. But they probably are being mean because he like over explained where he was coming from, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I understand and I'm happy for him. But damn. Oof. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she's leaving. She would have left already if I'm being totally honest. I bet you they both like need each other and in ways that they don't even think, you know? Kind of like how I have imposter syndrome and I always think that there's someone always going to be better than me. Sure, due to circumstances, but you're always going to be better than someone else, right? So I don't know, or those people love you for the things that you hate about yourself and so on and so forth. I just hate that they've put so much on there for that dude. Anyway.
Right. Like to me, it's just like he really obsessively loves his wife, and now y'all made him worry that it's too much love.
Yeah. Dang, man. Men's mental health right there.
Shit, we did it.
See, I'm telling
Men's mental
you.
health. Good
See, I'm
job.
telling you, like Frinny brain at 3 a.m. Man, but like also like it's so strange how all three of those stories had the same theme. They wanted to be those people most likely wanted to just be wanted or needed or feel needed. They all were hoping to be good enough. I don't know. I really don't. But
I mean, it's
I
wanting
like
to be wanted or needed is fine. That's a good thing. But
right.
if you're manipulating people,
Right. And that's what I was going to
that's
that's
wrong.
what I'm talking about. It's like they all wanted to feel needed and they all wanted their partners to depend on them. And that's okay. That's what I'm trying to say is that fuck, I'm high.
The first two, they were creating the problem.
They were creating the problem, but the bottom of it is that they wanted most likely to feel needed. They just weren't processing it properly because of toxic masculinity, because of society.
Society,
Like
how
for
could
real
you?
though, like it's like I made a video about it, remember? Where I was like those people who make fun of their girlfriends for buying makeup, those people who make fun of people for playing D&D when they play fantasy football, or those people who like wear jerseys and make fun of cosplayers. Like it's all the same and it's okay to love the things that you love and to be affectionate and to provide if that's what you want to do, if you can do. All of that is fine. But for some reason society has made it not fine. And so now I feel like we're in the middle of this battle between the regular dudes like you, the good guys, versus the true scary ass man. You know what I mean? But isn't that like that's how I think about it right now? Is like there's this big debate and it's really waking people up. Like I don't want to be associated with this type of dude. Can we please start talking about this now? You know?
I have seen a lot of that, like dudes coming out and being like, "Why are we still friends with these dudes when we find out what they do? Like, we find out your friend cheated on his girl. Why are you cool with that?
Right.
Like, your dudes, like your homeboys have a fucking photo group or whatever. Why are you cool with that? Like,
Let's fucking get down to it. And I really like that they're rejecting it. You're starting to see more and more in these stories that these guys, they have dude bros that they hang with and the dude bros are going. Like we had that story where he just went off the rails and it was because he was hanging out with his stupid ass daddy. You remember that story?
yeah,
His friend tried to reel him in. He was like, "Man, what is happening? Are you good? I'm your brother, man. Can we talk about this?" And he still shoved him away. And so his friend washed his hands of him. I like that there's this transition. Like that we're in the middle of so many transitions. Like the people like the men realizing this shit is stupid. Why am I doing this? I want to be a fucking human. To the people who are realizing that this politician bullshit, this politics, the government, this is all a farce. Like like the whole like what's happening in Palestine right now, you know, people are starting to realize they've been lied to their whole lives from all across the entire nation. People are starting to realize that shit don't make no sense. I can't believe I caught that in real time. That fake ass headline. People are starting to realize as a whole that we're fucked no matter what we do because it happened under a Democrat and it's gonna happen some more, even worse, under a Republican. People are starting to realize we need to do something else. People are starting to realize that I can't afford anything and I'm a straight white man with all of the audacity and I can't afford magic cards right now. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like starting to really really come to an awakening, and I really really love that. And I just want to say to all the men out there who are trying to do better and are trying to break these generational traumas of whatever this shit is, this toxic masculinity. I'm so proud of you and I hope you keep fighting. If you want to do self care, you like getting your hair did, you like getting your makeup done, you want to sit your ass down to pee, you fucking do it, sir. Anyway, do you have anything else, baby?
No.
We're both really high and we're about to go live. But anyway, I love you guys so, so much. I'm so excited for my future at my job. I'm excited for us because 3 a.m. Frinny be putting together episodes and we somehow make that shit work. We're like Sokka. We're like that meme. Remember I was talking about Sokka handed the scientist from Avatar The Last Airbender, he handed him just a fucking
doodle.
the doodle. They put that shit together, man. That is excellent. That's basically what 3 a.m. Fernie does. Anyway,
Doodle it out.
and then we put that shit together later. But anyway, all right, guys. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and we'll catch y'all later.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Yeah. Hey.